7 minutes after 7 o'clock in Trinidad and Tobago. Good to have you with us in the second hour of Morning Edition on this Tuesday. Just looking at the Twitter messages, getting a message as well that someone also pointing out that their favorite roti shop is in San Juan. Still trying to get over the fact that an Indian national would say that a roti in Barbados tastes better than the roti in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, by now he's probably been deported already because I reported him to immigration. By the way, don't forget Trinidad and Tobago drew 2-2 with El Salvador last night in the CONCACAF Gold Cup, a good result for TNT. In the other game, also in that group, Honduras came away with a 2-0 victory over Haiti. So let's talk about something very different from the politics. The Caribbean Institute for Security and Public Safety, CISPS, is the top institution in the Caribbean completely dedicated to offering access to first-class professional, educational services and training in the areas of security and public safety at affordable rates. We are joined by the chairman of the board of directors, Brian Ramsey, and principal Ian Ramdhanie, who are here to tell us more. The institution is based in Champlain, and for all of the contact information, we'll give it to you now. You can email them info@caribbeansecurityinstitute.com. That's info@caribbeansecurityinstitute.com, and you can also call at 223-6999, 223-6999. They're located along the Eastern Main Road in Champlain. Mr. Ramsey, again, good morning to you, and Mr. Ramdhanie. What is this organization all about?
Well, what happened is that we realized that the security field in Trinidad and Tobago is a very large and very wide one and has existed for 60, 70 years. Unfortunately, one of the shortcomings in the field has been a lack of trained personnel. And here I'm not necessarily referring to trained security guards, but trained personnel, whether it's in a supervisory capacity, whether it's in a managerial capacity. But also we've recognized that there are persons who have responsibility for security that most people often don't think of as security personnel, but they have responsibility, whether that's the individual who creates an RFP and requests people to tender, whether it's the individual who may have hired a security company and has signed a manager to manage or look after whatever that company does for them. And very often those individuals don't fully understand the role and function, and recognizing that weakness or that lack gave the impetus for the creation of the Caribbean Institute for Security and Public Safety.
So, Mr. Ramdhanie, what services, what courses are being offered by this new institution?
Okay, in this first cycle from August to October this year, we are starting our first cycle of short professional development courses with over 16 courses dealing with security officers, police officers, prison officers, general members of the public who are interested in getting into this industry or further promotion activities in this industry. So we are dealing with, for example, policing in Trinidad and Tobago, security supervision, electronic technology and security, correctional officers. These are the areas that we are interested in this first cycle of courses.
There are institutions popping up all over the place at different levels dealing with different areas. As far as the certification of your organization, is it recognized, is it affiliated with any international organization or recognized by any governing body either in Trinidad and Tobago or the Caribbean?
Not at this time. We are working towards affiliation with a number of international institutions, but at this present time, no, we're not affiliated with any international institution. However, the individuals that are the lecturers for the various courses are persons who have long years of practical experience in providing security services in Trinidad, but also have the educational foundation, the various degrees and so on, to be able to lecture on these topics.
So who are you targeting, Principal Ramdhanie? Are you talking about the managers, the owners of business? Are you talking about those who work in the field of security, those on the ground working as security officers or watchmen, as sometimes people still refer to them? Who are you targeting with the courses and the various opportunities that you're offering?
Right. Our courses target all of the different sectors you mentioned, all the different levels, from top managerial leadership levels to the supervisory levels, as well as the regular, as you say, security guards, as you say. So we target all officers at all levels. We also target those who are interested in joining this industry, as is one of the fastest growing industry in the world, security and safety.
We should mention as well that the website for CISPS is www.caribbeansecurityinstitute.com. That's www.caribbeansecurityinstitute.com, and a number of courses: security management and supervision, law enforcement, correctional services, general courses, all of which are available on. You'll get the information on their website. We've given you some other contact information already. Mr. Ramsey, what has been the response so far? Because it's fairly new.
It's fairly new.
Just formed just less than a couple of weeks ago, basically. Do you feel that there's a demand for these sorts of services, that people will say, because it's a new institution, that they will be willing to take these courses with the expectation of an improvement in whatever they're offering?
Yes, actually, what led to the formation was the demand. It was from listening to security companies who talked on and lamented the fact that they have a business to run, and yet they found in some cases that their supervisors are weak, and you know, listening to people talk and say, I wish there was a way that we could, or somebody offered. So we knew that there was a demand, and the demand is not just in Trinidad. The demand actually exists within other islands in the Caribbean who also have security companies and a security industry, and those small islands have an even bigger problem because they're smaller. And in fact, and that's partly why the institute was called the Caribbean Institute, because it's our intention not just for these courses to be offered for Trinidad and Tobago, but for Barbados and Grenada and St. Lucia and the wider Caribbean. Similarly, what we saw was that, as I mentioned, people in companies, in some companies, maybe the human resource manager is the one that's responsible. There's a problem, people go to the human resource manager, and the human resource manager calls the security company and says, this went wrong, that sort of thing. And in talking with those individuals who said they have that responsibility, but they don't have quite the knowledge base. So we knew that there was a demand from before. At the launch, we've received a lot of favorable comments where persons who attended the launch said, yes, this is something that they wanted, that it's long in coming. Some companies at the launch actually approached us and asked whether we would run courses just for their employees alone. And we said, certainly, if they have sufficient numbers to justify it, we'll come and run a course at your premises just for you alone. Or they can go and sign up for one of the other courses.
And before time runs out, just one more question, Mr. Ramdhanie. In the absence of affiliation so far with any international organization or regional certification and so on what basis are you framing your courses? How are you on what template, or are you using a template to frame your courses and the structure of those courses to service the needs of your clients?
Right. We have examined what the needs are in our society, and then we have examined what exists internationally. And therefore, we have patterned our courses without duplicating, obviously taking wholesale, as you say, and customize those training programs for our country and our society and our problems.
So they are relevant to the circumstances we face here in Trinidad and Tobago and by extension the Caribbean.
Most definitely.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, thanks very much for coming in this morning. So again, we're talking about the Caribbean Institute for Security and Public Safety, www.caribbeansecurityinstitute.com. You can check the email info@caribbeansecurityinstitute.com, and you can also call at 223-6999 for more information. They're located 100A Eastern Main Road in Charlotte. We'll be back right after this. A very busy morning, 7:15 in Trinidad and Tobago. We'll be back right after this.